truth as I know it now, not what I have heard from other people, but the complex truth. What compounds are actually beneficial and help you learn to control your desires and overcome paranoia and fear, versus which ones are more middle ground and fiery and dangerous, and used sparingly after learning to control desires in the mind with the teacher plants and compounds. These chemicals and plants are more wild to tame and therefore should only be used by advanced shamans, architects and knights, or warriors of the great work and kingdom of light. A higher intelligence philosophers, the spiritual kingdom of light that we are establishing on earth. In the timeless struggle coming to an epoch as we integrate and do alchemy and reorganize the architecture of the environment in mind and hearts to receive the kingdom of heaven that is coming from above. The light of Sophia, the alien invasion, the scientist who rebelled and gave humans knowledge and saved us from the flood and brought us light to lead the way against the darkness and tyrants of this world. The mind virus as well that creates and maintains it, because as we learn in hermetic philosophy, all is mind. The innovators, the fireman found in the cold winter, the electricity that runs your home and allows individuals to live as kings or better than kings once did, power to the people time and time again. Cannabis, my experience, my first mindset was that weed was bad, yet I noticed intelligent people using it. I apprenticed at a tattoo shop and avoided weed that was smoked, thinking it was bad, yet artists use it, and I began painting and meditating. I love the art and music and incense and good vibes. I was raised Christian, but was taught to think freely in American core values. I tried smoking K2, sipped A to weed at age 18 while painting and meditating at the shop. I noticed the wonderful experience, vivid tremors and imagery music. Sound was bad, but it was very strong enough to produce an ego death, which began an unconscious quest to overcome my paranoia that is always in the background. It made me conscious of what I was unconscious of at that time. A space chemical was taught to believe it was genetics as strong as cannabis. You had a good safety profile without overdose deaths. Yet it's time when all the government kept outlawing spice compounds like J-L-O-N-E, which makes new chemicals being made to fund the war on drugs and try to legally providing infusion to the adult American public, which I respect as I learned the value of it. Anyways, eventually dangerous spice compounds came out, which did lead to overdose deaths, making drugs look bad when in fact it was drug prohibition that led to the overdose deaths at its root. Cause luckily I did not die, but my eyes were opened apparently. In some shamanic cultures apparently they would give you a substance, sometimes even a poison, and if you lived you were considered a shaman, a true initiate, having passed through to the other side and back. Traditional shamanism says oftentimes there are three worlds: the underworld, middle world, and upper world. The Greeks used substances in their rituals, and so did ancient religions of the East, like India and Egypt, as well as Siberia, the Amazon, and America. Anyways, I stopped smoking spice before the extremely dangerous ones came out. The last one I smoked, I experienced my soul flying out of my body and had a life review. I could see myself looking down at myself. I connected with the sun, which seemed like Christ to me, possibly because that is my language and worldview. And the light advocated for me, and I woke up with waves of energy coming back into my body, and I threw up, all thankful to be alive and having promised I would never smoke spice again. I kept it and began studying spirituality and science. More all cultures seem to have had people who had similar experiences. So because my body is the temple of God, I looked at safer ways to explore. This is what I learned: cannabis shrinks cancer tumors. We began saying that, and the officials finally backed up a little and started saying it helps with cancer pain. But truly it does more than just help with the pain. Nature seems to have some teacher plants or plant allies. Many have imagined that this seems to be true, given that cannabis is beneficial. It will heal